Okay, we're going to start. We'll start going on. So thank you very much for joining us. I really appreciate your time. It's very, very valuable. I'm going to keep this pretty short and punchy so you can get lots of valuable information, everything you need without all the waffle and all the rubbish around the outside. So what we're going to be talking about is the French Anti-Fraud Act that comes in very, very shortly. We've sent lots of information out about this in newsletters and things, but we wanted to give a webinar as well, just so you've got all that information and go through. So you should all be able to see the screen. So hopefully you can see the screen and you can see that information. For those that don't know, I'm Andy Hooper. I'm the presenter today. I'm the CEO here at Global E-Commerce Experts. So I'm well positioned to make sure you get all the right information that you need. There are some chat room options we've already been through. Most of you know that that is a chat function here. You can use that. Apologies if I keep looking over here. I've got a second screen, so that's why I occasionally look over here. And the other thing is there's a Facebook group. We're actually putting this Facebook live afterwards. So if you want to go back and look at this after, you will be able to see the content. You won't be able to see the presentation because I'm not that clever and I haven't worked out how to do that just yet. But we will post the presentation out to those that want it after. So let's start with what is it, right? Let's just get straight into it. So the French Anti-Fraud Act 2020 comes into place on the 31st of January this year. And Amazon has been very good. I mean, you can see from the screenshot here that they've been basically getting in contact with sellers from the 1st of October. That's when the first information came out. We've had this information for a while. We've been building up to this. There's been some going backwards and forwards with the French government, Amazon, and a number of different organizations to try and tee all this up. But in a nutshell, basically the French government are starting to clamp down what's going on with people not being VAT registered in a nutshell. So what is it? It's to basically make sure that everyone who's selling products in France, who has products in France, is VAT registered. Really, that is the sole purpose of it. Where has it come from? Well, it's basically come from the fact that the UK and Germany have done exactly the same. So the UK launched this in 2016. Germany caught on with this last year. Many of you will remember that basically, you may not know this, but a third of all accounts in Germany were shut when this came into place in Germany last year. So same time frame, depends on where you were, where you're based, or depend on when it came in. But basically the 31st of January last year, the German authorities basically went, Amazon went, and if you didn't have a VAT number or you didn't have a tax certificate, then you no longer could sell on Amazon in Germany. And basically, the UK did exactly the same. And what they were saying is that the French authorities, what the UK and Germany did before, is they were saying to Amazon, look, unless these people have a VAT registered number and they're sellers from outside the EU, then you, Amazon, are responsible for their VAT. That comes into place. The day it comes into place, done. So that's basically why the French government are now doing it, because the UK and Germany have done it. It's really, really simple. France are saying to Amazon, you are responsible from the 31st of January onwards if your clients are not VAT registered, and therefore they need to pay VAT. So therefore, absolutely crucial that anyone who needs to be VAT registered is. So that's what France is doing. Now, you should be aware that there's two other marketplaces with Italy and Spain. Italy and Spain are going to follow suit pretty quickly. Now, basically, I'm going to get onto that in the next slide, if that's all right. So let's go through when you need the French VAT number, because that's absolutely critical. So you need the French VAT number when you have stock in France, number one. So if you currently have stock in France, you need to be VAT registered in France. Now, what some of you may or may not know is that if you are currently on the European Fulfillment Network, so let's say you are selling your goods from the UK and then you send them to customers direct from Amazon or a third-party warehouse, and you're sending them direct to a customer in France, a customer in Germany. Obviously, let's discuss France specifically here. Now, if a customer buys you this mouse, right? They buy that here, you ship that directly to the customer. I'm based in France. If I then go, actually, no, I don't want that anymore, I'm then going to return that. You'll all be well aware of the returns process and systems that the governments have. Now, that Amazon have. Now, in order for that to happen, what happens is your product then gets sent back to a French fulfillment center. Now, if your goods has been sent back to a French fulfillment center, you now have a VAT obligation in France unless you've pulled that product out of Amazon, okay? Or brought that back to the UK. Tomer, I've seen your question. I will come back to that in a moment if that's okay. I haven't quite read it because I'm in mid-flow, so to speak. Now, the other time you're going to need French VAT is if you're over the distance selling threshold. So, for example, you're selling from the UK, but you've sold over 35,000 euros into France. Amazon can see that from their own systems, but they won't know whether you're selling on any other platforms. And that's not just whether on on one platform. It's over 35,000 euros in total across all platforms. So that's what you need to basically be aware of, and that's what you need to do. So they're really the 3 times you're going to need to do it. Now, the fourth thing is if you have the Pan-EU registration enabled, so your products basically get sent from the UK into every warehouse around Europe, and you've enabled the Pan-EU program, then at that point, you're going to need to be VAT registered in every country, not just France. So that's when you need to be registered. Now, so that's key. So I'm just going to answer a couple of questions that have just come in. So, Toma, does this apply to sellers who only have inventory in the UK or to anyone who makes a sale in Amazon France? Well, you may make a sale on Amazon France, but your goods have been fulfilled from the UK. Now, if your product has been fulfilled from the UK and sent directly to the customer, then technically you do not need to be registered for VAT in France. And I say technically because what I'm going to put a caveat in here is what I'm giving you is the legal obligations of when you need to be registered and when you don't. What I can't give you is an algorithm that Amazon may or may not decide on that basically says, oh, you've sold in France on the French marketplace, therefore you need to be VAT registered. Because legally, you do not need to be VAT registered. Okay. Now, so the basically, if you sold from the UK or on the French marketplace, but the goods have been fulfilled from the UK, then you don't need to be VAT registered. Hopefully that answers that for you, for Toma. Sal, 35K per year or per month? Per year. And that's the years, basically it's calendar year. So if you're a VAT client of ours, we will be keeping a track of that and we will tell you when you need to register. So technically, if you're a VAT client, we should have that all sewn up and you shouldn't have a problem. We should have told you if you need to register. So Toma, and is that 35K including or excluding UK? Note that is just what you've fulfilled to France. So it's only what you've sold going into France on the French marketplace. All right. So it's relatively straight easy to do that. Michael, how can you check if your account is Pan-EU enabled? So really straightforward, really simple. You go to settings on the right-hand side of your Amazon account. You scroll down to fulfillment by Amazon, and then you should see that. Now, I've just done that straight away. I'm just going to double check what I've just said because sometimes I do that and I'm like, oh, that needs to be checked. Let me just come out of someone else's account and come into a different account. Bear with me 1 second, but that's, let's have a look, go to this account. Bear with me 1 second, apologies. So you go to settings on the right-hand side, down to fulfillment by Amazon, and then the fulfillment by Amazon. Yeah, I was right. So that's great. It's always good when you're right, but sometimes you just need to double check. Yeah. So settings, fulfillment by Amazon, and right at the top, it'll say Pan-European FBA, and it'll say whether it's enabled or enable. So that's what you need to do. That's where you need to check whether you're Pan-EU enabled. So that's when you need to register for VAT. You've got stock in France, you've had returns in France, you're over the distance selling threshold, or if you're on Pan-EU, and if you've got stock in France, Pan-EU is one of the same thing. You can pull a returns report really, really easy on each marketplace, and you'll be able to see where your stock is. Again, I'll send you the link of where that is. I can't remember that exactly off the top of my head. It's in reports, fulfillment by Amazon. Let me just wait for the system to catch up. So you go to reports, fulfillment by Amazon, then go to inventory, and on the left-hand side, you are looking for multi-country inventory. So reports, fulfillment by Amazon, multi-country reports, and you click on that, and then that should give you a list of everywhere where your stock is, whether there's been a return in that country or not. Yeah, that should tell you where your stock is anywhere in the world, anywhere in the European marketplace. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so that's that. So next question. That's if you need, if you need to be French VAT registered. If you need to be French VAT registered, simple process, get in touch with us and we'll basically make that happen and send the details over. Now, what I'm going to say here is that if Amazon suspends you for France, they've told me, so we work with Amazon Seattle directly. In fact, I'm going to Seattle on Saturday to speak with the global selling team on Monday and Tuesday. Be there Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. If anyone's around, wants to talk, then I'm happy to meet for a coffee. But outside of that, what Amazon have told me directly is that the chances of that, if they've been suspended, or if they suspend you in France, they are more than likely going to suspend you in Italy and Spain as well until you can provide VAT registration numbers for that. Because what they're finding is that there's a pattern of, well, you're not registered there, you should be. Then, well, actually, you're probably selling in France, Italy and Spain as well. So if you're not VAT registered and you think you should be, then you probably need to do Italy and Spain as well, at which point it's well worth considering the Pan-EU program. We can advise on that. You can contact your VAT agent, your tax consultant, and they'll be able to help you with that should you have any specific questions. Really, really simple. It comes into effect at the end of this month. We've been sending out newsletters about it. We haven't had a huge response. If you think you have stock or inventory in France and you're not registered for France for VAT, you need to get in contact with us tonight so we can action that tomorrow for you. Registration does take a little bit of time, so we need to see if we can do as much as we can to make that happen to stop you from getting suspended. So really, really key that if you think you've got stock, we need to make that happen for you. So basically, really simple. You can get in touch with us, support with Global Ecom Experts, or with your direct tax consultant. If you've got any questions, please fill them in. Sal, can you repeat the steps to check if I have inventory in France? Yep, of course I can, no problem at all. Go to your Amazon account in the EU. Go to any country, it doesn't matter. You go to reports across the top ribbon. I'm just doing this on one of my accounts now as I do it. Reports, and then go down to fulfillment by Amazon. What that's going to do is give you a nice little screen with lots of different reports that you can do. And then on the left-hand side, you'll see some more little tabs that you can use. You've got inventory, sales, payments, and so on. Under the inventory tab, you're looking for multi-country inventory tab, and you're looking to click on that. Now, if that's not there, you may need to retweak the settings under your user permissions, because Amazon constantly updates what you can and cannot see, and therefore you need to make sure that you're ticking everything as it comes through. So it might be that you can't see it, or you can see it. If you can, then obviously great. If not, you might need to tweak your settings. So that's really the simple process. You know, if you think you need to be VAT registered, if you've got stock in there, you've fulfilled there, Pan EU is on, you've had a return there, you need to be VAT registered, then you need to get in touch. It's really simple, it's really straightforward. We can do that for you, but you need to get in contact with us to make that happen. We can do that for you if you contact us tomorrow, and we can do that. Now, I said we'd be about 20 minutes. We've been 15 or so now. So if anyone's got any further questions, please add those into the comment box on the chat box, and I will see if I can answer those. I'm just going to quickly repeat where we are. 31st of January, you need to be VAT registered in France. If you have stock or inventory in France, you've met you're over the distance selling threshold, or the Pan EU program is on. Really straightforward, really simple, and really easy. Basically, can you say yes to those? If you can, you need to be VAT registered, in which case you need to get into us. You need to contact us at these details here. So I'm not seeing the multi-country inventory in my report. Let me just take a screenshot for you of what I've got here and get that sent to you so you can see it. Now the question is, can I add a picture to that? Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do is, so I do not see it either. Yes, please take a screenshot. So I've taken a screenshot. That doesn't seem to have worked so well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to switch my screen to look at a different screen so that you can see that. I'm just going to hide people's names and details so that that's not on show. Desktop 2. Okay. Share. Okay, so was that shared? No, we haven't shared it yet. Why did that not share? Stop share. Okay, apologies. Let's go to the other screen. Desktop 2. Share. I couldn't share two screens, it would seem. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen now. So you come along to reports, hit fulfillment by Amazon. What that's then going to do is that's going to give you a new screen. Yeah, you've got this new screen here, and you've got inventory on this side, show more, and you've got multi-country inventory. You're going to click on that, and you can download the information from there. Really simple, really easy. Now, that sounds really straightforward. Now, if you don't have that, what I would suggest is you go into your user permissions and edit your user permissions to see if there's anything you can do on there. So that's what you need to do. Let me just, oh, because I'm sharing that screen, aren't I? Let's have a look. I do not see that either. Please take a screenshot. Okay, I've taken the screenshot, but I'm showing the screen. So the other way of doing that is to go into your settings. Right. And come to user permissions. Hit user permissions, and you're going to be able to see different people. Now from there, that's what you need to be able to do in order to manage the permissions. So we can go into the permissions, and we can change the permissions to make sure that everything is set up. Okay, and that's what you need to do. I don't know which specific one it is off the top of my head. So Marketplace App Store, look, there's a new one. Look, I need to click onto that one. I mean, like, they change all the time. Global Shipping Services, there's another one. That's a new one. So anyway, so we can press continue and then change those. I do not have that. Maybe it's because I only have stock in the UK. I'm not going to guarantee that, in all honesty, Maria, because sometimes I'm going to stop sharing those screens. Let me just share the other one with the PowerPoint. I'm not going to guarantee that, in all honesty, because it may be that you don't have stock in other countries, but I can't guarantee that. So that's what you perhaps need to look at. I don't know. Any more questions, please send them over. Here is the details to contact us. I'm going to be on for another minute if you've got any more questions. and I can answer those questions. Any more questions at all? Yeah. Maybe it's because I only in stock in the UK. When I did have Pan-EU enabled 1 year ago, I did have that option, but before Amazon sends stock to those countries, I disabled it. Okay, so basically, if you're on Pan-EU program, what you need to do is you need to go into each marketplace specifically and have a look at the inventory report for each specific marketplace. Go into that marketplace, find the inventory report for that marketplace, and then do the inventory report that way. That way you'll see if there's any inventory there, at which point you need to do a removal order to remove it from that marketplace to a specific location. The chances are they won't let you do a removal order from a France fulfillment center to a UK fulfillment center. You'll have to send that to a third party center like our warehouse, and we can then do that and then send it back to Amazon. You may be able to send it back to an Amazon fulfillment center, but I'm pretty unsure you can't. So Maria, I think that if they never sent stock to other countries, you do not have the option. Yeah, I'm not going to guarantee that, in all honesty. If you enable Pan-EU, then I can almost guarantee the stock was sent elsewhere. And I'm not sure that is enabled with Pan-EU. I'd need to double check that with another account, and I'll have to do that at a later date. Okay, I'm going to stay on for a moment if you've got any further questions, but I'm going to end the webinar. It is replayed in Facebook Live, so thank you very much for on Facebook. There was one person on Facebook watching, so thank you to that one person. But if you want to watch this again, it's in our GEE Expanders Facebook group. So please feel free to watch that there, and you can ask any questions again there as follow-up, and we'll be able to answer those there. Thank you very much for everyone. Ria, have a great day too. I hope you all have an amazing day. If there's anything else we can do to help you, then please let us know. Thank you very much for your time. I genuinely appreciate it. If you need help with your Amazon's setting up the VAT for France, then please let us know and we can get that sorted for you. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you all soon. Oh, don't forget, we have a Brexit webinar tomorrow to discuss all things Brexit. But that's it from me. Have an amazing day.